Hi there viewer. Welcome to the second part of the EAS scenario, Zuma's Fear. There is an important message from Rocky the Paw Patrol 267. Please listen carefully.
Hello my fellow EAS enthusiasts, I'm Rocky the Paw Patrol 267. For those that didn't know me, I voiced Sergeant Cross and narrated the EAS Zuma's Fear's Paw Patrol series. This is part 2 of Zuma's Fear. If you haven't watched the prologue or part 1 already, the links are in the description below for you to watch, so you can get the full story of what happens here. This is based on HavocHound's actual story, so his link is in the description below as well. I know you don't like the disclaimers thing, but there is some important things we need to clear up. As you may know, most EAS scenarios on YouTube is purely fictional, meaning that the situation that happens here is not real. While you take the time to read this disclaimer here are some things you need to know. As the title implies, I'm doing a Paw Patrol scenario based on a fictional story of HavocHound. It is not suitable for kids or the sensitive ones who may find the emergency alert system tone scary. So if you do not feel like you can handle the creepy things you may hear here, click away now. I am not affiliated with Spin Master or any other of its companies, and it's not based on official episodes of even one. Please note, as any other EAS creators say, that wearing headphones is not recommended, as loud sudden noises can happen at any time. If you decide to wear one anyway, make sure to adjust your volume to a comfortable level. If for some reason the tones activates the real EAS radios, I will not be responsible for anything that's beyond my control. This warning will give you time to move any ALNA radios away from your device, so as to not to accidentally activate them. I will give you 5 seconds to move any radios. And done. Phew, finally we got through this thing. Anyways, watch out for me voice acting the rest of the characters that will be depicted in the story as well, so keep that in mind. Also, I'd like to credit OptimusPrime 100 for voicing 2 characters that will be in this video here. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Sergeant Cross, sir. What is it, Kowalski? I've just heard the news of Mayor Goodway pleading to the Governor of California to extend the search to a statewide manhunt. You won't believe this, sir. He just agreed. That's good news then, Kowalski. I knew that the Governor wouldn't turn down to such a situation that involves a small pup. Get the EAS guys to update the situation. I want them to let the public know that we're doing a statewide manhunt as of now. Get the message to say to encourage anyone who has any information to call the authorities immediately. Yes, sir. Come on, team. Don't let me down now.
This is 91.1 FM KCSM. We played lots of jazz music in this station. This next one is from an iconic video game that took place across the universe. Have a listen. Enjoy.
This message is sent at the request of the FBI and local authorities. Here is an update to the situation involving the suspect, Damian Stone, and the abducted pup Marshall. The FBI and local authorities are still unable to locate the suspect and his hostage at this time since the incident in the forest last night. As a result, they have extended the search into a statewide manhunt, which includes all major cities and towns. Last description of the suspect is that he stands 6 feet, 2 inches tall, has black hair, has a black leather jacket, blue jeans, and was reported to have a semi-automatic weapon and a portable knife. He has a distinguishing scar and tattoo on his face. Marshall is a Dalmatian pup that stands about 2.5 feet tall, has black spots, and was last seen wearing his fire suit before he was abducted. They may be traveling in a black sedan with unknown license plates. The Paw Patrol is urging anyone who have information that can lead to Stone and Marshall needs to contact the FBI or the state police immediately, as Marshall's life is in extreme danger. Please be advised that the police patrols around the area will be increased as a precaution. Do not approach the suspect by any means necessary. Call 911 instead. Stay tuned to local media for further information.
Good afternoon. This is the Adventure Bay News with the updated reports on the situation involving Damien Stone. As you might have heard from the emergency alert system, it has been the last 12 hours that the Paw Patrol, the police, and the FBI are currently searching frantically for the suspect and the abducted pup Marshall. They had extended the search not just the Adventure Bay area, but much of the California state. Every police stations across California had been alerted to the situation that is happening here, and we hope this measure can bring Stone to justice, and bring Marshall home safely. Today we have one important person who would like to talk about Stone's past and how he had turned into the monster we all fear we hope never happened but became a reality. Good morning, Dr. Richard.
Good morning.
We understand that you were Stone's therapist at that time before the incident. Is that correct?
Indeed, Mr. Davis.
But we would like to know the backstory since Damien Stone came to you for help and how he acted in this manner. What is your side to the story you can bring to the people of Adventure Bay?
Certainly, Mr. David. Now, I've been a therapist for a long time in the city of Helena, in the state of Montana. Now, 20 years ago, I received a visit from a kid. That kid was none other than Damien Stone at the age of 12. The poor kid was in front of me, and he held whatever money he managed to save to pay me for my therapeutical help. Of course, I told the kid that there was no need for that he could visit me anytime he wanted time he wanted to, for free. Now, we've been meeting every Thursday afternoon for the last 14 weeks, and we always talked on what afflicted Damien. Now, here's the backstory of Damien Stone. He was born in St. Peter's Hospital, and at first his life was very peaceful. It was until his mother, Delia James, left him and his father when Damien was 4. It turns out that the mother was addicted to drugs, and at the time, one night, she stole all of his husband's dollars and ran away. 7 years later, she was found dead in a street of Oklahoma after she injected herself with 5 pills of LSD. However, let's get back to the father, Tommy Stone, because he was another story. Now, after her ex-wife left him and his son, Tommy went into a complete state of depression. After losing his job, he started to drink like a fountain, and he abused his son for almost everything since he thought that Daddy had left him because of him, so the kid. Of course, I told Damien to report his father to the authorities, but he always refused because in the end, he said, he was always his father. Now, Damien told me that he always fought with these demons in his head, but I always told him to hurt his father in any way possible. What was more disturbing is that his psyche was mostly afflicted, and most of the time he showed signs of instability. Sometimes he was happy, sometimes he was crying, and most of the time he was angry. Despite the family situation, we were making progress. And everything would have turned out okay if the father, Tommy, wasn't that drunk to escalate the situation to a whole nother level. Listen, one day, I was in my office minding my business when Damien came to me, but something was wrong. He walked slowly, and his expression, he looked traumatized. I asked him what happened, and then if I can say this on TV, he showed me his buttocks, and he was covered in fluids, man fluids to be exact, and then I knew what happened to them. I almost gagged in there. I'm sorry. Now, of course, I was shocked. I was going to hug him and comfort him, but when I was near him, he then pushed me on the ground, and all of a sudden he became angry. He's gone ballistic in that point. He shouted to me that he couldn't trust no one, not even me, and he also said that this world would be better off without him. And that's when he stopped. Suddenly he looked at the window. Then he looked at me and he said that he was wrong. If he killed himself, then the world would never experience what he's been living. After that, he left my office, and for the last 15 minutes, I was there, just standing stunned after all that happened in there. Eventually, I got up and I thought to myself that enough was enough, so I went straight to my telephone. As I was about to dial 911, I heard sirens from outside my office, so I looked outside, and I saw 3 police cars coming by. Then I thought to myself that It was clear to me where those cars were going. I quickly ran to my car and I followed the 3 police cars. And all I could do at the moment was praying, please, God, tell me that Tommy didn't kill his son. Then I came to their house, the Stone's house. I saw police officers everywhere. People saying, excuse me, I don't think I can hear it this well. Fine. As I was saying, I saw police officers everywhere. I saw people whispering what was going on. And I saw an ambulance at a corner nearby. I assure you, David, at that moment I feared for the worst. Then there was the dead body that was transported out of the house. But it wasn't Damien. It was Tommy. My God. Damien just killed his father after everything that happened. Damien was nowhere to be found, and for a long time I tried to find him. I just wanted to help him, and I just wanted to save him, in other words. Unfortunately, 8 years later, I've heard some stories about him. And so I've heard the stories that made him the man that he is today. I still can't believe that he took one day to turn an innocent kid into a monster. That's all I have to say about this subject. My God.
Anything else about Stone Richards?
Why, certainly. There is one thing I'd like to talk about Damien Stone. It's about the knife he has. The one he calls it Shiva. Apparently, Shiva isn't just one of those knives used by him. It has a certain importance to him. I've only found out about this when he got arrested. The fact is that after what happened, after the, let's say the outburst that he had in my studio happened, he came back to his house. And he saw his father sleeping on the couch, holding a knife, a multi-use knife to be exact. He silently stole from him while the father was sleeping. And that's when he started killing him. And he kept the knife. In fact, he kept him for a long time, but he started to calling him his friend. That's right. Apparently the knife is Shiva, like he calls it. Really, it's a bad story. Now I know I may have disturbed some viewers at home, but I just told the exact truth of what happened that day. If there was something I would have done, anything that I could have done different, just to save that kid, I would have done it.
Thank you so much for telling us about Stone. There is one more question I would like to ask you. Is there any way that the Paw Patrol and the authorities can reel him into justice? Is he predictable?
Mr. Davis, I watched the whole situation spiraling out of control from my city, and truth be told, I don't know what to think of it anymore. I'm afraid that Damian Stone is, he may be mad, but at times he can be pretty intelligent. So, to answer your question, I'm afraid not.
Thanks again for calling in, and please contact us again if you have any more information to give to us.
Oh, I will, Mr. David. Have a good morning.
This is ABN with the special report. We will return when another news comes in. Please stay tuned for further information.
We interrupt your programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government and the Federal Communications Commission. The U.S. government along with the FCC received multiple reports that the computers and communication across the country is experiencing a problem with their 911 system. An unknown intruder breached the computers in full force, making the calls impossible to reach to the operators. The number of affected landline and cellular phones is unknown. Initial investigation also turned out that social media websites, including but not limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Vimeo and many more is experiencing technical problems with their websites as well. Both the 911 and the social media sites have received a message from the unknown sender stating, "Expect a big show soon tonight. You will see the missing pup in his costume. This may be connected to the kidnapping of Marshall in Adventure Bay." This is a dangerous situation in which the crime rates in the United States is expected to rise due to residents unable to call 911 for emergencies. All residents affected by this outage are being assured that the technicians are working to get the 911 system and social media sites working again. The estimated time of repair is unknown. As a result, increased police presence will be happening across all major cities. If you have a life-threatening emergency, please call your local police station or fire department immediately. If you cannot reach them via phone within 1 minute, go to these places at once on foot or in a vehicle. Please stay tuned to your local station on your radio or television for further information.
A few hours later, at 8 p.m., in Adventure Bay, things started to escalate. After the 911 outage message has been issued, things weren't going so well. The police have escalated their presence to a higher level than expected, and Detective Shaw and his authorities are working tirelessly to find Stone. Since the calls have not been given through lately, there has been no leads at this time. The only thing they have a lead on is that message that was sent out to 911 and the social media sites. Moving on to the pups, they were just as bad off. The first thing Chase had done was get into his police cruiser and search for Marshall. He had done it all yesterday, ever since Dr. Richard shed light on his story, only to start looking again next morning after he slept at that night. He didn't even bother to eat. Everyone was not surprised to see the leader do this. Chase and Marshall had been brothers together, adopted together even. They've always been the best of friends and die for each other if they need to be. At the top floor of the lookout, Rubble and Sky were doing their best to comfort Ryder, who was at a loss at what to do for once. He'd always come up with a plan or an invention to solve problems before. Now, he had nothing. The pup has to be dead, Roy. Damien Stone has never let a victim live longer than a day. Don't say that, especially when one of his friends are nearby, Phelps. I'm saying that given the history of Stone, we're wasting our time trying to find him. You're just not right, Phelps. You know that? Zuma heard the two police officers' conversation and pretended that he didn't hear them as he continued to watch the endless sea from his spot. Deep down, however, he was wondering one question. Why? Why not me? Why can't it be just me and be over with? First my family, now my friends. All because of me? Why didn't I just die in that shack like the rest of them? Nothing of this would be happening if I was just dead. Zuma? Hey, Walkie, what is it? I just want you to know that Chase is back and Ryder's asking us all to meet. He says it's important. Okay. This isn't your fault, Zuma. Walkie, you can say that as many times as you want, but it's never gonna convince my heart. A minute later, Chase, Rocky, and Zuma have met with Rubble and Sky and Ryder at the top of the lookout. Chase had to ask one question. Is there a reason you called us, Ryder, sir? Chase, you're not going back out there. In fact, none of you are. It pains me to say this, but I'm considering sending you all to temporary families for your own safety. You've gotta be kidding me! You can't do this! We're a team! We're family! Rubble shouted. Wait, are you getting rid of us? I'm not getting rid of you. I'm keeping you all safe until Damien Stone is captured. But think about Marshall! We need to find him as soon as possible! Shaw then steps in to intervene and assure the pups that Marshall will be found soon. We'll keep looking, but we can't risk any of you pups getting kidnapped like Marshall. Look, it was my idea. Blame me. Damien Stone's clearly targeting all of those who associate with Zuma, and you pups are the biggest target. We're planning to move all of you to a safe location with complete silence. Once this is over, you can come back to Adventure Bay. Ryder, please. You're our owner. We love you. I love you all too. But I'd rather have you all safe and separated than together and in danger. Guys? Guys, you might want to look at the news.
Good evening. Once again, this is David's bringing you the top story of the hour on the manhunt for Damien Stone. We have some reports that multiple police, along with the FBI, are currently stationed near the Paw Patrol lookout, serving as their main post for officials. We are not getting any word from them as of yet, but reporters on the scene are working on finding out
What's the meaning of this? Rocky, what's happened to the TV? I'm not sure, Chase. I'm sure everything was fine. It's not fine, dude! Everyone, quiet! You're just making this worse.
That does it. He's a freaking nerd. Oh, man. Excuse me, David, but, since I know that your little newsroom is far too boring for handle this, I decided to do a live stream about it. Now, ladies, gentlemen, puppies, children, animals, domestic animals, or whatever, I am Damien Stone. Perhaps you all know me because you all know what I'm capable of. You all know what I do. You all know what I did. to be just a normal broadcast hijack. Well, nope. I'm afraid it'll be much more longer than a minute, unlike our fake Max Headroom body did some time ago in Chicago, I believe. Hey, Max, by the way, I got the other glow. It's right here. Oh, bye. Ah, yes. Now, before someone tries to cut off the feed, I like to remind you of one thing. How am I even doing this? Well, you see, the answer is simple. I just stole one of ABN's cameramans. Mr. Carl, who's back here with a tape on his mouth. You know, I don't want to hear his cries while shooting on this. And my point is, if someone even tries to cut off the feed, well, I'm afraid that little Carl gets a hole in his head, if you know what I mean. Are we clear? Ah, good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, you're about to watch one of the greatest moments of my life, where I torture not only the pup I know that took away my own people, but to send a message to those who think I'm just a psychopath and a desperate one, if I add, who's just trying to have all of this chaos done, just to have some attention. I don't just want any attention for the United States. I want an entire attention from the entire world. I want to let them know that I'm far more, well, dangerous than Zuma was, than the ISIS was. In fact, if I were in a room with all these persons I just mentioned, I would just get out of there alive. Now, here's what I'm going to do. What we are going to do. You see, I've done lots of crazy things in my life, but a talk show? Well, I can assure you this isn't just a talk show, it's also a game show. So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of the Damien Stone Show. But tonight, it's named the Damien Stone Super Show. And for our special guest, it's right here next to me in the chair. Ladies and gents, give it up for our little pup, Marshall! Now, Marshall is one of the Paw Patrol pups that lives in California. A silly pup that thinks life is just easy dealing with only fighters. I know unforeseeable damage to his body is shown here. You can thank me for that. But I can assure you that his whimpering in pain and screams is a sign of fun. In my own way.
You're sick. You're evil.
Yeah. Trust me, Marshall. This is gonna be a long night. Sorry. This laughing stuff is making me all coughing and such.
You can't kill me.
Speaking of which, let me clear up something. You know, I watch the news listening to my former therapist I looked up to. Richards, yeah. Who called Damien, I believe, in that morning. Yeah. He was right about me in every way, including my parents. In fact, I'd like to tell you a little story on how my father forced me to, stick the old jelly bone into my, rupture. Now, it all started in that day. I was about to leave when my father blocked me and he started rambling like the imbecile he is. Of course he was drunk, and as always he kept saying, "This is your fault. She's gone because you were born," and stuff like that. But then, he told me that because of me, apparently, he had some of those sexual tensions denied. In that moment, he stopped. 12 seconds later, he looked me in the face, and he said, "May I ask you something? What is your position about fellatio?" And all I said was, "I don't even know what fellatio is." Then he proceeded to punch me in the face, taking me down on the ground hard. He started taking off my pants, just like as he was. And then, he showed me. After my little outburst with the doctor, I came back home and I knew what I had to do. I saw that drunk bastard sleeping on the couch. Then, Shiva here, my friend, told me what to do next. Something that apparently the police couldn't do. I made sure to get rid of it once and for all. Richards, if you're watching this, and I'm sure you are, there is nothing you could have done to save me from this darkness. But don't worry, I like it. In fact, I like this thing. But what I don't like is you telling stuff about me. You know what? Boys!
Yes, boss?
When this is over, this whole show is over, do me a favor. Pay a visit to Mr. Richards and, make sure to take his head in my room. Trust me, he'll make it such a quick trophy.
Oh, I know where this is going, boss. Yes, sir.
Anyway, I'm not talking about Dr. Richards here, no. I'm talking about Marshall's friends here. Now, Paw Patrol, if you're hearing this, well, I'll explain this very shortly. But if you don't, I'll do the second best thing. You see, I got this thingy here from Marshall, and all I have to do is write a message which says that all you have to do now is go to Channel 4 and actually call me. Believe me, I have the telephone ready here. Everyone will hear you, okay? Everyone. Sorry? Yeah. Well, I believe that, the EAS here has a message. Another of those beep, 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 beep messages, you know, such stuff like that or such shit like that, you know. So I'll do this. While I contact our fellow friends here, I'm going to show the EAS. In fact, it will give me time, because all I need to do is to have 2 minutes to prepare my game of depths. So, Paw Patrol, I suggest you listen to me, because if you fail to comply, your friend right here gets one in the head and one in the stomach. And then it will be little Carl's turn. You hear me? I will not only break all of you, I will shatter each and every one of you. In fact, I'll shatter you all in a way so much incredible that you will never be rebuilt again. In fact, the pieces, all of your miserable little pieces, will be turned into ash. And in that point you'll realize that there is nothing you can do to stop me. But if you want to blame someone, then I suggest you blame our little survivor here. I will be playing this game with you soon. Don't be late. And now, we'll see you for the next 2 minutes. First, let's give to our fellow sponsors here the emergency alert system, their little message of some sort of me being a psychopath, ruining your entertainment on TV and such. And let's be done with it. Ladies and gents, the EAS douchebags.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the FBI and the Paw Patrol. A dangerous situation is taking place in an unknown location, communicating in television and radios only. Damien Stone hijacked the broadcast of all channels, and is currently live-streaming across international news channels, including but not limited to ABN, NBC, CNN, TVNZ, BBC and many more. Stone also stated that he has also captured one of the ABN's cameraman, and has threatened to kill him if any attempts to cut off the feed is made. The suspect also stated that he sent out a text message stating that the Paw Patrol needs to tune to Channel 4 to see him in Marshall, and to contact him on Ryder's pup pad, or else further actions may be taken in which he could put Marshall in danger. As a precaution, all residents are advised to head indoors immediately, lock all your doors and windows. Take food, water, a first aid kit and a battery-powered radio to stay tuned to this situation. Stone's channel is currently available to watch, but viewer discretion is advised. Stay tuned to ABN or Channel 4 for further details on this set.
I don't like where this is heading. Poor Marshall.
You're definitely right, Sky. This isn't wrong on all levels. We have to do something. We have to save Marshall. Somehow. Marshall's like a brother to me. I swear, when I get my paws on him, I'm gonna eat every last one of his meat. Why, Stone? Why are you coming for me? It's all my fault.